Hey guys, thanks for coming back and hanging out with me on the Fallen Angel vodcast as I move through and just walk you guys right behind the curtain, see exactly what I'm doing with my images and how I'm going to move through the process of taking a raw AI image that's been generated by one of the many that I use, image generators, and make it my own, make it the vision that I see for it. And most of these, while they come out, I've been getting a lot of really cool images lately, which presents me with quite the conundrum because I only have so many hours in the day, and some of them are so good. It's like, okay, I need to think about this. I need to decide how to change this picture and what get a handle on the vision for the picture. So this one's a little bit different. If you saw the very first uh, vodcast in this series for Fallen Angel, I went I could not decide on an image to do, so I went to my one of my AI image generators, and I said, all right, whatever it spits out is what I'm going to do for this vodcast. And I'm really happy with what it spit out. It made the choice really easy. Like I said, I've been getting some really good images, which either means that it's learning from me and what I like, or that some of these image generators, I'm just getting better at using prompts to get the types of images that I want. So we're going to go through right now, and we are going to move some things around. Uh, on the second video in this series, we removed some buildings here and some buildings here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little bit of cloud cover and just move it around a little bit. So we are in guided still. I will have to go into design on the next video because we're going to split the image in order to color it top and bottom. I talked about that on the last video. Oh, excuse me. I am in edit over here on the right hand side of the toolbar, and we're going to go to object clone because we don't just want to move something, we want to leave the clouds already where they are. We just want to copy them so that we can put them in a little bit different place. So we're going to go in here, and they do have a tutorial video. One of the reasons why I'm doing these walkthroughs is because the tutorials go really kind of fast and really don't explain things well, and they don't do what I do where you can go, oh, okay, this is what it did, this is what it looked like before, this is what it did, this is what it looked like before, like I do with like denoise and deblur and sharpness and contrast, and even with the colors and stuff like that, I can go, okay, let's clear that out of there, what did that do, and take a look at it. So I'm going to have to zoom up quite a bit, and there's not great clouds in this particular image. This is too big. I need to be out a little bit so I can see what I'm looking at. Because what I want to do is, can you kind of see the darkening in the sky right here? I kind of want to take these clouds here that are nice and clear. These ones are kind of blurry and won't really serve the purpose. And I may snag some little bites from down here to kind of make it look a little more natural. But I'm going to start with this one that's right here along the side, and I'm just going to snag it. And I'm going to go to 150 just so I've got a little bit better. I went into go here to custom because 150 is not an option on here. Go 150 and hit enter, and it'll zoom us up a little bit more. Like I said, I'm trying to remember to be a little more conscientious about the time. So what I really want is just white puffiness. So I don't want to be too far outside this. So I'm just gonna, and I don't want like a stick. So I try to make what I'm doing a little bit odd shaped so that when I move it, it looks a little more natural. And I took just a little bit of the darker area here, and I'm going to click on it. I've got all of the ants marching around the outside. There's nothing in here that's not part of it. I'm going to go next, and it's going to give me this nice little red outline where I can pull this away. And you see how dark that background is? And it should change some. I can flip this and turn it over, put it back. Um, so I'm actually going to flip it, and I'm actually going to turn it some. Because if I just move it over, it's not going to look anything close to appropriately natural. So I'm actually going to overlap it a little bit. Turned it too much. Kind of like up there. And I'm going to see what that looks like. We can always use the back button. See, a lot of the darkness is coming through. And if we grab again, and we move this up here, just to show you what it does. It does gradually lighten as you go through this stuff, but what it's doing, it's not taking a solid object. It's taking a clone um, of the object and introducing it into another section. So sometimes this can be very frustrating to do. I'm going to try some of the stuff down here. I'm going to maybe grab from right here because I can get kind of a crazy piece. I don't want to be too much into any of the brownish. And we'll take that and we'll move it over and we'll bring it up. And then I want to flip it. I don't know that I want to flip it. I think I may just want to turn it so that we can just put it in here. Kind of like that. What I can do is I can take this part. See, I'm actually increasing the clouds that I can grab when I put more in here. And I can move this down like that. And as I get more and more clouds, I can grab larger and larger pieces, which is kind of cool. So I'm just going to kind of continue this. I don't need to be like super cloudy, but I wanted to kind of do something with this area where those buildings were that we took out. And I think that's probably going to do it in that area right there. That's, and we're looking a little choppy down here. So I'm going to take one more spot and move it this way. So I'm gonna, this will be kind of a long one with kind of a fatter belly on it. And this does not have to be perfect. I'm not trying to be perfect with this stuff. What I'm attempting to do is uh, cover up imperfections in what I'm doing when I take something out. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to, with clouds, bring in and introduce cloud cover where you're at. And you can see it's not perfect. It does not give you an exact, and you can actually flip it like this too. Now you might say, well, you can stretch it out, you can expand it. When you stretch them or expand them, you got DPI problems. Um, and that's what I want to avoid is DPI problems. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to first start off by making this area of clouds a little bit better. And then I can grab a nice sized chunk up here of the clouds and bring it all the way down. This doesn't need to be perfect. We can go back and erase parts and stuff like that, but I try to move it and just make it look a little bit more natural. So essentially all I'm doing is bringing this down just about to the wing and bringing it over a little bit and boom diddly. Why did I just say that? That's so not me. But I want to bring some in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an area that's kind of that size and shape already. And when you compress these, like we can take them and move them and I just uh-oh, just moved. I didn't do anything that was fatal there. Um, you can compress these and you don't have to worry about like the DPI because you're actually making them smaller. But like I've said before, I mean, the main thing is the main thing. I don't want parts of my image that are stretched out and see, it just looks a little bit better. Um, go, oh, well, I need a big patch of clouds for over here. Well, like what I just showed you on the other side, and what I just showed you here, as I took what I could and moved it down, and then I could actually take a bigger chunk and move that over, and then take an even bigger chunk. So you can use the cloud cover that you clone and move to make larger and larger pieces if you need to. I don't need a ton in this particular circumstance. I just wanted some stuff. As a matter of fact, that's not quite dark enough for what I want to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this right here, and even though this isn't as big as what we have up there, I'm just going to move it up, and it will help to thicken what we have going on. Just going to turn it a little bit, move it into place there. It doesn't need to be perfect. So I'm going to try it there. If I need to add a little bit more, I'll add a little bit more. See, now I don't like the way that looks. That looks too off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this again, and I'm going to attempt to kind of make it in a shape that we can flip around and monkey with to put it in a little bit better. So you can do this over and over and over again. You can get way too, involved in doing this. You can get way too perfect with it. I don't really want it on his wing, so I'm actually going to flip that over. See how we do that? I'm just going to flip it over, and I'm going to leave it a little more dense, and turn it a little bit more. And we're just going to come to the tips of the wings, and we're going to put it about there, and there we go. So if I look from here, can't see anything, but I'm doing print on demand with these things. So I have to kind of look at it and go, okay, does it look decent enough? Do I need to bring some clouds from somewhere else just to give it some texture? And I think what I'm going to do is this right here. I'm just going to grab a little spot. I'm going to bring that down. And we're going to try one more time just to get a little bit better look. Not fantastic. It's not a world breaker. There is some linearness to this. If you're not understanding what I'm looking at, there's some linearness to this. So let's try this. Let us, because we created this nice big area of clouds over here, and I'm probably going too long, but that's okay because I can compress it and it'll actually look a little bit better. But this is what I'm talking about. You can do this over and over and over again, and you can make it um, the way you want to make it. And let's face it, that's what we're doing here is how do we make this the right way? How do we make it look better? And hopefully this will take out some of the linearness of this cloud cover. Come on, where's my little turner? I want to turn. Just want to turn it a little bit more. I'm actually going to compress this a little bit so that we're kind of just layering over layering over layering, and that looks better. I think it just brought enough of a swirl to it that it looks better. So that's it, guys. We moved some stuff around. I will save this and we will move on. This is actually step 3. Now, in the next video, I am going to be working on a different image, preparing it to put into this image. And if I have enough time, we'll actually cut this image. So like we talked about in the last video, I want to be able to color just this part above his wings. And we're going to introduce the other picture. But on the next video, we're going to mess with the other picture. So I will catch you on the next one after I save this. And remember, guys, let the chaos out.